What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our brand new video. Today we've got the 3rd seeded Portland Trailblazers against the 6th seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. So obviously OKC have got Westbrook and Paul George and Steven Adams, and that's going to be a big advantage against the Nurkic-less Portland Trailblazers. And obviously Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook, that's always a good matchup, a good point guard matchup, but I feel like Steven Adams might dominate inside with no Nurkic down there. So we'll simulate this round, see what 2K thinks will happen. We'll simulate with Simcast and we'll go to the 4th quarter, and I'll see you all there. Alrighty, here we are in game 1. Now obviously Portland being the highest seed, they have the court advantage. They have the first 2 games at home, but there's no trouble for the Oklahoma City Thunder. You can see straight with the ball. OKC have got this big 19-point lead now. It was a close game throughout the majority of it, but obviously without Nurkic and Kanter having to be the main defender down low, they're going to struggle with that quite a bit. You can see Seth Curry and someone else coming, I think it's Myles Leonard coming in right now. So McCollum and Lillard just wasn't enough to take down this first game at home. So the OKC Thunder will take the 1-up advantage here. You can see Layman trying to body himself inside against, I'm not sure who that is, Jeremy Grant. So Schroeder defending that 3-pointer, gets that. Grant gets the rebound. Robeson's here. I'm not sure if he'll be playing in the first round. I haven't really been keeping up to date with his injury as of lately, but for all I know, I don't think he's playing. So obviously Paul George, Russell Westbrook, too strong for the Portland Trailblazers in the first game. They're going to take this game 1-zip and go to the second game. We'll go check out the stats though, see how everyone went, and then we'll move on to the second game. Alright, stats here for the Portland Trailblazers. Damian Lillard, 27 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Now Enes Kanter, 17 points and 16 rebounds, so he had a good rebounding game, although he didn't really score as much as Nurkic would. He's still putting that big body down low. Maurice Harkless, 11 points. Where is CJ McCollum? 8 points. CJ McCollum has probably had one of the worst seasons of his career. Definitely been a bit of a drop down since from past seasons, I should say. But Damian Lillard and obviously Nurkic, who isn't going to be playing, has been carrying them through the load. Now you can see here Russell Westbrook, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals on 11 of 24 shooting. Paul George, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I think personally that in real life, I think Thunder may sweep. I think that it will be a competitive series. It will be the series with the most tension between the 2 teams. I think there's a bit of beef between the 2 teams, kind of like OKC and Utah last season. But I think it would be a good playoff series to watch. But I think Paul George and Russell Westbrook, that 2 combo there, and then also Steven Adams down low, that would just be too much for the Portland Trailblazers. So Steven Adams, 18 points, 8 rebounds, good game for him as well. So we'll jump into game 2, which will still be in Portland, and see if Portland can tie the game or if Thunder will take a 2-0 advantage on the road. Alrighty, game 2 here. You can see OKC, although they were on the road and they did have a good first game on the road, Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum obviously have had a good game. They're up by 20 points now with 30 seconds to go. So they are able to get that game 2, so they don't lose both games at home. They do drop that 1 game though, as Damian Lillard gets another step back there to put the total to 22 points. So obviously Paul George, Russell Westbrook wasn't enough to take them down for game 2. We will go back to Oklahoma City though, where I think the Thunder are a pretty damn strong team. Now, I mean, I probably don't give enough credit to the Trailblazers in order to be 3rd in the West. That takes a lot of effort. It is a tough league out in the West, obviously with Denver and everyone else. So I think it's quite surprising for OKC to be that low, to be 6th, but I think it'll still be a good playoff series. So obviously Trailblazers take this second game, tie the series 1-1. We'll go check out the stats to see what happened, and then we'll go on to game 3. Alrighty, Damian Lillard goes completely off for 48 points. So I think that's the most points we've seen so far this playoffs, like from these simulations. 3 rebounds and 7 assists to go along with it. CJ McCollum had a pretty good night, 16 points. Enes Kanter had 14 rebounds as well, so he was good for centers. Now for OKC, 25, 12, and 6 for Russell Westbrook, 22, 9, and 3 for Paul George, and kind of a poor shooting night for both of them. 8 of 18 for Paul George, and 10 of 23 for Russell Westbrook. Steven Adams, 14, 8, and no one really else had a big impact. We'll go into game 3 now, which will be back in Oklahoma City. So maybe the Thunder might lose a game on the road, or they'll put the series to 2-1. Alrighty, here we are, Game 3 in Oklahoma City. They do have a 3-point lead, although Cantor is at the free throw line and cuts that deficit to 2 points. So it's just over a minute 30 to go. Portland are in the bonus, and OKC are up by 2 points. So Damian Lillard playing on ball. I don't think Russell Westbrook's on the court, so he may have got fouled off. But we're unsure, so Dennis Schroeder is taking his place. Paul George is still on, unfortunately, for the Thunder. Defended by Layman, I think that is. Steven Adams sending the screen up top. Not going to do much though. Paul George is going to ISO him, I guess. Probably, result to posting up. Have to fade here. Quick little shot, and he misses. So that's a bit unfortunate for the Thunder. Damian Lillard now, who's usually quite good in these close situations, getting the ball back from CJ McCollum. Back to CJ McCollum, who takes the wing shot, and he nearly made that. Okay, Steven Adams with the board. Up to Paul George. Oh no, that's Roberson. Why am I thinking it's Paul George? Roberson, who's kind of doesn't know what he's doing, he can't shoot at all. Back to Schroeder, probably pass it over to Paul George, and you get it to Paul George so that he can take that final shot. No, he's decided to take it himself. I don't know what he's doing. He's passing Jeremy Grant in the corner, who has to force up a three, and he misses. And it's Kenner with the board here. No, just over 30 seconds to go. There hasn't really been any scoring since we've been here. Layman driving baseline. Takes that shot. Gets the and one. Gets the goal as well and the foul. That's the fourth for Paul George. And he can put them ahead with this one shot, which he makes. So just in that little time there, that little short 7 seconds there, Layman, I don't even know what his first name is. Layman, I have to learn that. Layman takes that, gets that N1 to go. And Portland are now up by 1 point. So if I was the Thunder, I'd be looking for Paul George probably. I don't know if Russell Westbrook's been fouled off or not. I couldn't really see up there. No, they're not putting him back on, so he must have got fouled off. It would only be silly not to put him back on. Okay, there's a bit of a spoiler for Damian Lillard. 27 points, 9 of 19 from the field. But obviously we're going to have to not win the game yet. Paul George, they call another timeout for some reason. They're going to call a double timeout, waste another timeout. That's interesting. Damian Lillard, obviously on the road, Thunder are a pretty strong team. They're pretty solid, but also Portland on the road are a pretty solid team as well. So we'll quickly get through all this. I don't really care about any of this. Jeremy Grant's going to pass on the ball, probably into Schroeder, who can then find Paul George. They've got it wasting a bit. Oh, Steven Adams gets the ball. Okay, Paul George is in the corner. You can't really see him. He's off screen at the moment. He's probably going to cut right back up, or they're going to try to find him. Bit of a dumb decision. Schroeder's kind of hogging the ball. He's kind of taking tips from Russell Westbrook here. He's nearly losing the ball. He might get the 3-second call. Paul George in the corner takes up shot, and he makes the shot. He digs that shot in. They're now up by 2 with less than 20 seconds to go. With 16.8 seconds left on the clock, OKC have taken the lead up by 2. So Portland, both teams have one timeout left. So and Portland's in the bonus, so they do have a foul to spare on OKC. So if they do get the ball, they have to. They do have that option to foul. So Damian Lillard, ball up the top, obviously going to go to Damian Lillard in the closing shot here. They're probably going to wind the clock down for the final shot. This is probably going to balance the series. We'll see what he does. 4 seconds left. 3, 2, shot goes up, and he misses. Okay, so OKC take a game at home. They're now up 2-1 against the Portland Trailblazers. You can see Damian Lillard is visibly upset there. So we'll go have a look at the game stats to see how many points Paul George got, see if Russell Westbrook did in fact get fouled off, and I will see you guys there. Alrighty, here we go. Paul George with 43 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals on 16-21 from shooting. So that's a great stat line for him. Dennis Schroeder did his thing, 17 points, 9 assists. Steven Adams dominated down low, 16-12, 3 steals, 1 block. I don't see where Russell Westbrook is. Oh, he got injured. So Russell, I haven't turned off injuries. You can't turn off injuries in the playoffs. It is a lot more of a heated, a lot more fast-paced than the normal season. So I do keep injuries on. This may change the series. A sprained left knee. He only played 8 minutes. Now that may change. Injuries can happen. It's the most random thing. Now, obviously, it's probably a dumb thing for me to keep them on in a 2K simulation, but that's what's happened. That's what 2K has made happen. He sprained his left knee. Now I'm not sure if he's going to be playing Game 4. So now they're up 2-1, but without Russell Westbrook, we'll have to see if they will lose their second home game, or if Portland will take and even the series at 2-2. Alrighty, Game 4 here, and no Russell Westbrook, no problem. As far as I know, he didn't play. I haven't checked the box score yet, so I'm unsure if Schroeder had to play his position or not. But it looks like OKC will take this game, and they will go up 3 3-1 in the series. However, they are going back to Portland for Game 5, so maybe Portland will have that advantage and be able to take that Game 5. They're going to find CJ McCollum on the wing, and he makes that shot. It's surprising. He's had kind of a poor shooting season, but they'll just run the clock out here. They're going to be 20-point victories, and they're going to go up to 3-1 in the series. So we'll go check out the stats, see whether or not Russell Westbrook played. I can't really see him on the bench, but we'll go see if Paul George had to carry him again. So it looks here Russell Westbrook did not suit up at all. He wasn't even on the bench, but no Russell Westbrook, no problem. Okay, Paul George 28, 8 and 4 with 2 steals. Steven Adams 21, 12 and 3 steals, 2 blocks as well. He shot quite well from the field, 9 of 12. Dennis Schroeder 15 and 5. We'll quickly check out 23, 6 and 8 for Damian Lillard. Maurice Harkless 14, 3, 3 and 3. CJ McCollum 12 and 3 as well. So I mean, it's an alright game. I'll see what Enes Kanter did, 10 and 8. So yeah, it was an alright game for Portland. Just wasn't strong enough. Now we're going back to Portland for Game 5 and see if the OKC might close the series off 4-1, or Portland might win another game and make the series 3-2. Alrighty, Game 5 here, and it looks like Portland will take this game at home. Obviously, that as I said, the home court advantage, and he steps over the line and gets an 8-second call. That happened in a Celtic game as well. So a quick mistake there by Damian Lillard, but OKC have got quite a big margin to fill here. They're in a Paul George on the floor, and obviously Russell Westbrook is out, so I don't know if that's going to tip the series or not. Seth Curry holding the ball up here. They're going to probably hold the ball for the entire time, and they're going to take a 9-point win and make the series 3-2. So we go check out the stats once the game finished, and I will see you guys there. Alrighty, CJ McCollum 20 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Jake Layman, that's his name. Okay, Jake Layman and Seth Curry had 14 each. Enes Kanter had a 13 and 11. We'll check out Paul George had 43 points, 14 rebounds, 4 steals, but simply was not enough. Now, obviously, I mean, it was my fault for turning on injury. I have not turning off injuries, but as I said, that could be something that happened in the playoffs. So according to 2K, that might happen to Russell Westbrook. Hopefully, it doesn't though. Steven Adams 14 and 10, Dennis Schroeder 10 and 2 and 12. So that's a good showing from the Oklahoma City Thunder. But we'll go back to Oklahoma City now. The series is tied. Sorry, it's not tied yet. It's 3-2. So obviously back in Oklahoma City Thunder, back in Oklahoma, I should say, they're quite a strong team. So maybe Portland will tie the series 3-3, or Paul George and the Thunder will take the series. Alrighty, Game 6 here, and looks like Portland will take the game on the road. Now I just want to clarify again. I think it's fair that I kept injuries on, seeing though Marcus Smart is currently injured. I think there's a lot of injured players on each roster, so I think that's fair that I keep it on. Now obviously coming with that, there is the possibility, like Russell Westbrook, that he can get injured. Now it is a sprained knee. Oh, Paul George hitting that shot there. 16 seconds to go. They'll just run the clock out and tie the series 3-3. So this is our first Game 7 in the first round. Now obviously maybe this won't happen. Obviously the addition of Russell Westbrook may tip this over, and potentially Portland only wins 1 or 2 games. But besides that is real life. This is a simulation. We'll quickly jump into the game stats and see how well Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum did. Alrighty, for the Thunder, Paul George 29 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block on 11 of 19 shooting. Dennis Schroeder 27 and 8. Steven Adams 17 and 9. We'll look at this Portland team. Damian Lillard 30 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Enes Kanter 18 and 10. So it's a great showing by Damian Lillard. Now we'll go to Game 7, which will be in Portland because of the home court advantage. So it'll be our first Game 7. We'll go there and we'll make sure that we watch the final few minutes to see if Paul George can take down. Actually, just before that, I just want to clarify. So Portland were without Nurkic, obviously because of a real life injury. I know Russell Westbrook isn't a real life injury, but it could happen. Anything could happen in the playoffs. This is a simulation. This is how 2K sees it happening. So we'll go to Game 7, see what happens, and I'll see you guys there. Alrighty, here we are in Game 7 in Portland, and it looks like Oklahoma City are going to get the upset here over the 3rd seeded Trailblazers. Now, even though Russell Westbrook got injured, he is still Paul George was still strong enough with the rest of this Oklahoma City Thunder squad, I should say, to take down Portland in 7 games. Now, obviously, this would be an amazing series if this really happened. Although the games weren't entirely that close, the first few were really close, especially with the Russell Westbrook there. Now, obviously, they're going to run the clock out and take take this victory. Obviously, Paul George, I imagine he had a pretty good game. Dennis Schroeder must have had a good game as well. But with the absence of Nurkic as well from the Portland Trail Blazers, they were going to struggle defending inside the paint, especially against Russell Westbrook diving in there all the time, and Steven Adams, who has that big body down low. So OKC here just going to run the clock out. Dennis Schroeder's going to tie, although he's tired, he's going to run the ball out. And obviously you can see in the corner, win or go home. So the Thunder on the road are going to take this win over the Portland Trail Blazers. Now we'll go check out the stats real quick. Obviously I'm just going to be playing around here. I'm guessing Paul George had a good game even though he's on the bench. He's going to have a pretty good game, and we'll go see the stats, see if Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum had a disappointing game, but we'll go check that out now. Alrighty, for the Trail Blazers, you can see here Enes Kanter was the top scorer. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum just had a bit of a quiet game. They shot very poorly from the field, but Enes Kanter got 19 and 11, so that was alright for them. Dennis Schroeder was the top scorer for the OKC Thunder, so two surprising top scorers for the two teams here. 29 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists for the Game 7 Oklahoma City Thunder win. Paul George, 24 points, he did his thing, and obviously Russell Westbrook didn't suit up for the team. So if you guys did enjoy that episode, please make sure you leave a thumbs up and go check out the other simulations. I'm doing a simulation for every single matchup. I'm doing all the single matchups for round 1, and then when round 2 happens, once all the games are over, I'll do a simulation for that as well. So make sure you guys go check all them out. Leave a like, it's very much appreciated, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.